Hi guys, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome back, and if you're new, welcome to the Furaha family. Make sure you subscribe below so that you can join the family here. So today I just have a basic tutorial, back to basic for makeup, guys. I know it's been a minute, so I'm gonna start with my eyebrow tutorial. So for the back to basic series, I'm going to start with eyebrow tutorial. I know I've never done an eyebrow tutorial, and guys, eyebrows is not my strong suit when it comes to makeup, but you know what, we're gonna have to make it work. Okay, it just needs more attention than anything else. Maybe for me, like when it comes to makeup, eyebrows can take a long time. So I've come to have this routine for my eyebrows, and I find it easier today, and I find it easier nowadays. It's not the same. And by the way, one thing I've learned, as you can see, I have very minimal eyebrows. So before, they used not to really trim my eyebrows well, but nowadays I have someone who trims my eyebrows really well, guys. As you can see, I don't trim from the start here. I just trim this part right here to just give it like an uplift right there, and I think it's working for me. So I'm here just to share you my new eyebrow routine, and just to give you a tutorial for you guys that is very easy to follow. It's a more of a natural look. I'm not a fan of really bold eyebrows. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this one. So the first thing, guys, you're gonna need a brown eye pencil. I find a black eye pencil really striking, so go for brown if you want a natural brow look. And make sure it's all sharpened, guys. Like, make sure it's very sharp. Yeah, like that. As you can see, this is Davis number 3, the best eye pencil you can find. If you're a beginner, just start with this before you go to brown gel. The second thing you need is a concealer just to clean your brow, and it's affordable, the same as the eye pencil. It's very affordable. I think it goes for either 30 shillings or 50 Kenya shillings. Yeah, for this one it goes for around 700. And the last thing you need is a flat brush like this one right here. uh, any flat really dense brush that is very flat, like that one. Apart from these three right here, you're gonna need a spoolie brush. And if you don't have a spoolie brush, don't mind it. Just have an old mascara like this one that is cleaned very well. It doesn't have the mascara residue, and you're good to go. So you only need this right here. The first thing, you just brush your brow like that. Just brush it upwards. And then the second step, you take your eye pencil that is sharpened very well and just line your brow. And guys, follow the natural shape of your brow. Don't overdo it. Yeah, because sometimes you can draw another brow that is even not your shape and just look ridiculous. So just follow your shape of the brow, because we all don't have same eyebrow shape, guys. Like, they're not the same. So just follow your natural shape of your brow. So you line at the lower brow right there. As you can see, just line it. After lining the lower part of the brow, you just line your upper part, and point note, don't start right here. It won't look as natural as possible. So just start somewhere like there. So this is the arch right here. This is the arch. This is where you bend it. So when you line your brow, just come straight, and then when you reach this point right here where there's this like the it's a raised, yeah, the brow is raised right here, you just make a corner right here like that, and then you finish by that. Yeah, so the next part is just filling in the brow, and guys, don't just draw lines, just do some small strokes, yeah, to mimic the natural hair of the brow. Yeah, so that's what you're gonna do right now, just filling in the brow, and you're gonna start by the end of the brow like that, and just filling, going inwards. Small strokes, guys. So when you come here at the start of the brow, you don't you just do upward strokes, very mild upward strokes to mimic the natural hair of the brow. Just don't want to overdo it, so that it can look as natural as possible. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I think natural look of the brow is more like sexy than just something like it seems like it has been put there. No, so I think I prefer that. So that's it. The next thing I do, I just go in with the spoolie again or mascara, just to brush it off, and when it comes here, just brush it upwards like that. So when you see that, don't worry guys, that is where our concealer comes in to just clean everything so that you can have a perfect brow. So let's do that. For the concealer, there's a point to note. Make sure you have like one shade lighter than your skin tone, yeah, especially for the lower part. For the upper part, you can always use a foundation that is your shade, or even a concealer that is your shade. Yes, so we are going to start by cleaning the lower part of the brow, whereby we are going to use the lighter shade of the concealer right here. So for me, I just like to put it right there, and just take my brush and we do the thing, and it's almost done. And it's almost done, guys. Like, I just need a haul for makeup again. So you take your flat brush at this point, and then you take your concealer, just dip your brush right there. So for me, I like to start like this part when I'm cleaning, because that's the most important part, to just to give the brow a lift. And then after that, I just clean the rest of the brow. And funny thing, guys, for me, I don't use so much concealer. I see people using so much concealer. But I don't use so much concealer. That is just my style, okay? but if you find it way easier or way better to use too much concealer, that's okay. That's okay. There's no right or wrong when it comes to these things, okay? So after that, I'm just blending it. Just extend the concealer a little bit. As you can see, my lower part is pretty decent right there. So for the upper part, guys, I normally use a darker concealer like this one, and I mix it with a lighter concealer. That is me. But as for you, you can always use a foundation that is your shade or concealer that is your shade. You don't need like to mix two shades for you to get the right shade, okay? So I'm going to mix these two. As you can see, I have the darker shade here and the lighter shade. So I'm gonna mix the two right there and just have my perfect shade for the upper part. So when it comes to the upper part, I'm gonna start this part right here. Just start away from the brow and just clean it to the right shape you want. So always, guys, if you see like the blank spaces of a brow, you can always fill them in so that the brow can really fill in. That is the funny part about makeup. You can always just touch up if there's any part that you feel like it's not perfect for you. Yeah, as I can see now, it's becoming more fuller than before. And I always just like going in and just brush off right here. Just want this part to be more of natural as possible. And there we have our brow. So let me do, as you can see, there's a big difference between this one and this one. Yeah, it's more clean, it's more refined than this one. Yeah, so mostly I do this if I'm going for a really bold look, but if I want a very minimal, like very minimal look for a brow, I'm going to show you like this one, like the makeup no makeup brow look. I'm going to do this one. For this one, it's like a bold brow for me, but for this one that I'm going to do this side, it's just a very simple, like a more of a natural look. So check it out. So I already brushed the brow. The next thing, so for me, for a natural brow, I don't like start lining from here. I just follow the arc right here. I follow this arch, this part right here. And then I just line as close to the brow as possible, like that, just to give it like a shape, you know. Yeah, and normally I can just dab it like that and then just fill it in very casually, very casually. I just don't do much when it comes to a very natural brow look. Very casually, guys, as you can see. And that's it. I don't do much. So after that, I just take my spoolie and just brush it. I don't want to have the lines. Can you see, guys? Very natural for me. And nowadays this is like my go-to brow, by the way, because I don't wear makeup that much because of wearing mask and everything. So if I am going for a very soft look, I prefer this brow, but when I'm going for a really bold look, I prefer this brow. Yeah. It's different, but it's how I do it, you know. So then after that, I just clean this part right here and I'm good to go. Like, I'm just using the lighter shade of the concealer right here and just clean it up. So again, I concentrate at the arch right here and just clean it. And voila. I don't do much, guys. Like for this, I normally just clean my under eye and that's it for me. Just have the perfect brow that I want. So that's it, guys. As you can see, these are very two different brows, and I do this for a reason. When I'm going to a very soft makeup, no makeup, or just soft glam, yeah, I go for this brow that I don't really define up here. I just lift it up and just fill it in, and that's it. I normally don't do much. And when I'm going for a very bold look, I just go for this brow whereby I fill it so much and I make sure I define my upper part of the brow. So I hope you've enjoyed this, guys. You've enjoyed my tutorial and it will find it helpful. If you do, make sure you give it a thumbs up and comment below and try it out. As a beginner, I know brow can be very tricky, but trust you me, you get better by the day. If I look at the how I was doing my brow before, it's way different than what I'm doing now. So don't worry, there's no right or wrong. Just practice and you get better every day. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next video.